Riley Trent stood in the massive hangar bay of Station Kepler 9, staring at the ship that had apparently ruined his life before he'd even known he owned it. The Wandering Star looked decent enough from the outside, a mid-sized cargo hauler with reinforced plating and what appeared to be military-grade thrusters. Aunt Vera had always had expensive tastes. The lawyer's hologram flickered beside him, a thin centaurian with too many eyes and not enough patience. As stated in the will, the vessel is yours, Mr. Trent. All systems functional, fuel cells charged, navigation charts updated. Your aunt was quite thorough. Then why did everyone else in the family refuse it? Riley asked, watching two dock workers give the ship a wide berth as they passed. The lawyer's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. Perhaps you should board and discover that yourself. I have 17 more estates to settle today. The hologram winked out. Riley approached the airlock with growing unease. The entry code Aunt Vera had left him worked perfectly, and the door hissed open with well-oiled precision. The interior was immaculate, cream-colored walls, state-of-the-art control panels, and furniture that probably cost more than Riley's apartment back on Earth. This was a ship meant for long-haul luxury transport, not just cargo. He made it 3 steps into the main corridor before he heard it. A rumbling purr, deep and resonant, vibrating through the deck plates. Riley froze. The sound came from deeper in the ship, somewhere near what the layout schematic indicated was the living quarters. He crept forward, one hand on the plasma cutter he'd brought for emergency repairs, though he had no idea what good it would do against whatever was making that sound. The living quarters door was already open. Riley peered inside and his jaw dropped. Sprawled across an enormous cushion that took up half the room was the largest feline creature he'd ever seen. It had to be at least 6 feet long, with luxurious fur that shifted between deep purple and midnight blue depending on how the light hit it. 4 eyes, arranged in pairs, blinked slowly at him. Its ears, 3 of them, triangular and tufted, swiveled in his direction. A long prehensile tail curled lazily in the air. "Oh," Riley breathed. "Oh no." The creature stood, stretched with the languid grace of any cat waking from a nap, and padded toward him. Each paw was the size of Riley's head, tipped with retractable claws that gleamed like polished obsidian. It stopped inches away, lowered its massive head and bumped its forehead against Riley's chest, purring so loudly his ribcage vibrated. Riley's hand moved automatically, scratching behind one of those 3 ears. The purr intensified. "You must be why everyone refused the ship," he muttered. A soft chime from the ship's console drew his attention. He gently extricated himself from the creature, who seemed content to follow him at heel like an oversized alien dog, and accessed the message system. A pre-recorded hologram of Aunt Vera materialized, her weathered face breaking into a familiar grin. "Riley, my boy, if you're seeing this, you've met Mako." The creature's ears perked up at the name. Miko is a Philesian from the Andromeda colonies. Her species is incredibly rare, incredibly intelligent, and incredibly illegal to own under galactic commerce law. She's not a pet, Riley. She's a person. She chose to travel with me, and now I hope she'll choose to travel with you. Riley looked down at Miko, who gazed back with those 4 luminous eyes. One of them winked. Aunt Vera's hologram continued. "The family knows about her, of course. That's why they all refused the inheritance. Harboring a Philesian carries a hefty fine. Or worse if you run into the wrong authorities. But I'm gambling that you, Riley, are as stubborn and soft-hearted as I was. The Wandering Star is fast enough to outrun most patrol ships, and I've left you coordinates to safe havens throughout the galaxy. Miko knows them all." The hologram flickered. "She's been alone for 3 months since I passed. She understands death. Her people live for centuries, but she grieves. And she's loyal beyond measure. Treat her with kindness and you'll have the finest co-pilot in the galaxy. Try to cage her or sell her and, well, those claws aren't just for show." Aunt Vera's expression softened. "I know this isn't what you expected, Riley, but neither was she for me. And she gave me the best 30 years of my life. The choice is yours. Keep the ship in Mecco, or sign the release forms with the lawyer and walk away. But whatever you choose, choose it honestly." The hologram vanished. Riley stood in silence, processing. He'd been working a dead-end job on Earth, living in a shoebox apartment, drowning in student debt from a degree he'd never used. The Wandering Star represented freedom, adventure, everything he'd dreamed about as a kid reading pulp sci-fi novels. It also represented danger, illegality, and life as a fugitive. Mako made a soft chirping sound and rubbed against his leg. Up close, Riley could see the intelligence in those eyes. This wasn't a dumb animal. This was someone who'd chosen Aunt Vera, traveled the stars with her, mourned her. Someone who was now very much alone. Riley made his decision. "All right, Mako," he said, scratching under her chin. "Looks like we're partners now. But I'm going to need you to teach me which systems to avoid and which cargo runs won't get us arrested." Mako's purr rumbled like a small engine. She turned and padded toward the cockpit, glancing back as if to say, "Well, are you coming or not?" Riley followed, a grin spreading across his face for the first time in months. He slid into the pilot's seat, still warm, he realized, from Mako sleeping in it, and began the pre-flight checklist. Mako hopped into the co-pilot's chair with surprising grace for something so large, her tail wrapping around the armrest. As the wandering star hummed to life around them, Riley pulled up the navigation charts. Hundreds of star systems glittered across the screen, each one a possibility, an adventure. "Where to first?" he asked. Mako reached out with one massive paw and tapped a coordinate on the far edge of known space. A trading post, according to the notes. Aunt Vera had marked it as friendly to unusual crews. Riley laughed and engaged the engines. "Unusual? Yeah, that's one word for us." The ship lifted smoothly from the hangar deck, and as they broke atmosphere, heading for the jump gate that would carry them to the stars, Riley realized something. Maybe inheriting a spaceship with an illegal alien kitten wasn't the worst thing that could happen to a person. Maybe, just maybe, it was the best.